Alright, so polar coordinates are not talking about x, y, like if I gave you 2, 5, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2, 5. That's Cartesian. Otherwise rectangular. Otherwise an XY grid. So what we're doing now is we're looking at it not like a box per se, but we're looking at it like a circle. And and it's a lot easier than what it looks like, okay? Two things. For me to know we are here, and this is the North Pole, all I need to do is have two values. The angle, and how far do I have to step away from the center. That's it. That's called R, the radius. You with me? So, look, here we go. Check it out. Here's the pole, and there is Prosper. What angle would you say we're at in relation to the pole? What directional angle from the unit circle are we? No, not 70. About 175. So it's going to be 175 degrees. And how far away? I mean, it depends on the scale of this thing, right? But looking at the picture, this line right here is 1 unit. This line right here, or this circle, is 2. Y'all see what we're doing? Yeah. Here's 3, so on and so forth. So how far did you step out? You stepped out 2.
That's 2 large steps.
Okay, 2 large steps. Now, there's other ways we can write this. Let's say, because the very first thing was I rotated my body to face where I was going to walk, and the next thing was it was a positive 2, so I stepped forward 2 units. To get to the same location, let's say I wasn't facing that way, I was facing the opposite direction. What's that opposite direction? It's a negative what? Negative what? Negative 5 degrees. Because all you did was subtract 180. So you're looking at a negative 5 degrees, and instead of walking forward a positive 2, what are you going to do? You're going to walk backwards a negative 2 to get to the same location here. You're going to see relationship here in just a bit with all this. Are we good? Do you see it?
Would adding 180 not work?
Yeah, add or subtract 180. Because, look, that's a really good question. He says, what if you added 180? What would the angle be if you added 180? 355. Is 355 the same as negative 5? Yes. Yeah. So it'd also be negative 2. So, I don't know why I put the comma there, but negative 2 and positive 355. Cool?
So these are measuring rotational angles?
These are in rotational angles, yes. So these are in rectangular angles, not bearing per se. I mean, they could give it to us in bearings, but we know how to convert it anyway. You see what I'm saying? But yes, the foundation is rotational angles. How else could I have done this right here? There's 4 different combinations, and this will be on the quiz for you on Friday. You could do the simplest one, in my opinion, or the add or subtract 180, and then make sure we put a negative on this. But there's one more. What could you do? You could add or subtract 360 to that. Just another coterminal angle. You know what I mean? So if you subtracted 360, what's 175 minus 360? In the calculator real quick. 175 minus 360. Say again? Negative 185? Which makes sense, because if I went from 0 degrees and I went a negative 185, I would get right there. So I'm rotating the negative way, and I'm going to walk 2 steps forward. So those are the 4 different ways that basically this is the gist of today's notes that I did in about 4.5 minutes. I'll have to check the time on that. I'm just curious. Anyway, so here we go. Polar coordinates. The r value, otherwise the radius, is a point's distance from the origin, otherwise the North Pole. Believe it or not, Santa does polar coordinates when he visits your house, because that's the fastest way to get there. He's not real, I'm joking.
Yes.
Oh, what?
No, I'm joking. So,
That's on the recording.
theta represents, I was like, crush stream.
You better hope your kids don't listen to
A rotational angle, just like Jacob said, the rotational angle is the foundation of the polar coordinates. Okay, so theta is that directional angle, and it's still unit circle. You go counterclockwise is positive, clockwise is negative. So in plotting points with polar coordinates, what's the difference between positive and negative values of r? For positive, r coordinates begin by moving to the right of the pole. To me, yes, the r is begin by moving to the right, but to me, I like to say not moving to the right, but moving forward from the pole. You know what I mean? Walk forward out of the pole. And instead of moving to the left, what do you think I... Backwards, walk backwards. That's what I like better. Positive values of theta mean that you're doing counter. Negative values are clockwise. Pretty simple. Now, let's plot A. Remember, you're always going to do the angle first. Okay? So let's see if I could do this. I'm going to draw from like an aerial view. And then I'll draw my shoes. Here's my shoulders. No hair. Okay, let's put hair. So I'm looking out that direction. Okay? So let me put on some glasses. Hold on. So there's my glasses. There's my glasses. What's up? So you see me?
It's a blob now.
Okay, it does.
Blob.
Okay, my. Okay. Oh crap. Oh. I'm recording. So I'm looking this way. Okay, I'm looking that way.
Oh.
So I'm going to go to the center. There's a blob. And we're going to face 135 degrees. Whoa. There you go. So we are facing that way. Cool? Y'all see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, from there I'm going to walk 7. So all the way out here where 7 is at, this is where A is going to be. You with me? Alright, let's do it again. So I'm going to take me, blob it up. Oh, we didn't, all the blobs didn't go. What the heck? Okay, maybe. No. Oh.
That's your back. That's your skinny.
Wow. Alright, so I've been working out. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to face negative 120. Negative 120. I'm struggling here. So here's 0 degrees. There's negative 90. There's negative 120. Am I going to walk forward or backward? Forward, because it's a positive 3. 1, 2, 3. There is B. That's not B. That's B.
There's no B.
Okay. So, okay, no more blobs. Let's just fix it. C is going to face 60 degrees, and you're going to go 2 out. So C would be right there. So far we have A, B, and C. All right, here we go. This is different. We're going to face 120, which is 30 more than 90, so it's over here. But we're not going to walk forward 4. We're going to walk backward 4. This is huge, guys. So it's going to be like over here. Because we're walking backwards 4. We're facing 120 still, but we walk backwards. And this is going to be D. And then the last one, we're going to go a negative 135. So negative 135 would go all the way here. So our body, remember, you got to rotate your body. That's why I did the blob, so you know that you're rotating first, and then you're going to walk forward or backwards. So we're looking this direction, but we're going to rotate what? Or sorry, we're going to walk what? Back 6. So it's going to go straight back, and here is E. Now, on Google Classroom, these two are easy. Please fill these in. Okay, they're already pre-filled. These are the ones that you have to be concentrating on because these are the negatives, the plus 180s, or the minus 180s, and you change that R to a negative value. Nicely done.